Okay. This is a reaction video for Netflix's Outside the Wire. Ugh. Overall, it has a real 80s B movie feel to it. Um, but of course, uh, whoever's decision it was, or whoever decided, they decided to roll in some more modern opinions towards the Americans. I feel like that's what they do. The Americans. It's like I don't even know how to say it. The Americans' involvement in Afghanistan and Iraq for all these years. I feel like they decided to do that, and they also, from the beginning of the movie, it seems like they were throwing a little sneaky jabs out in places you wouldn't think that they would fit, stinging real bad. Because it let me at least say who was in here first. So it's Anthony Mackie. He was in Hurt Locker, probably one of the more mentionable or memorable. What is it mentionable? No, one of the more recognizable war films. Hurt Locker, and then also Damson. That guy is from Snowfall. Probably said his name wrong. Don't judge me. um, um, yeah, he's the lead star, the lead actor in Snowfall, which is a pretty good TV show. I've watched. Uh, I think I watched all the available episodes, but of course, it always seemed like something was a little. He didn't seem like a normal American black kid. I was like, nah, I'm not going with that. But anyway, back to Outside the Wire. So basic story is this kid's a drone pilot. Americans involved in a conflict with Russia, and it just follows him after he decides to take things into his own hands. Basically, he's sitting on station, and is operating in the mission, and I can't pinpoint. I believe they said he was in the Air Force. Now, look, just as a disclaimer, I've never been in the military, but I'm gonna start throwing a whole bunch of stuff out there. So I never really got his branch, but apparently he's working in aid to the Marines that are engaged by not like Russian military, but like I guess they're like will be considered terrorists. So a little cheesy, but yeah. So there's also a resistance, which is uh, similar to not similar, but which also does happen in war. There's resistance and people who are opportunistic. I feel like it, I just remember there's one scene in there that's really reminiscent of the Vietnam conflict. I'm like, come on, that's a reach. It probably has happened. I don't know. If you know what it is, you know what it is. I won't bring it up. It's pretty gory stuff. Um, what else was I going to say? What else was I going to say about this film? I'll go ahead right now and just tell you that I did enjoy the action in it. Um, there's one thing about the rope. Oh, maybe I'm getting too far ahead of myself. So the kid's a drone pilot from Snowfall. Anthony Mackie is the guy he basically gets assigned to after he. Okay, I should explain why everything came into motion in the first place. So now, like I said, he's in the station. He's in an air conditioned. Believe it or not, it looks like he was in an air conditioned, uh, converted ocean container, sitting behind a joystick eating gummy worms. They made him look really young, and I feel like that's a jab right there. Like, you got these little kids flying these planes who are killing thousands of people or hundreds of people, and killing hundreds of people, creating refugees, amputees, and just all types of bad stuff. I think they wanted to point that out, which they did. Message delivered, or message received, I should say. Um, Now, also, I'm trying to think. Also, I lost my train of thought that fast. That's unbelievable. So you have that, and oh, I should explain. I keep trying to get off. I keep veering off it. So while he's on station trying to assist in the Marines, he sees a potential threat that could wipe out all the Marines. So he wants to eliminate it. But if he eliminates that, he will kill two wounded soldiers that are in the fight. So he decides all by himself to eliminate the target anyway. Winds up killing the two Marines. And coincidentally, he winds up getting transferred towards that same base that has a very close proximity to those Marines, the surviving Marines. Of course, they catch him, beat him up, but in the process, he's getting introduced to the Anthony Mackie character and finds out that Anthony Mackie is a really advanced robot. But I like this one part. Well, I like multiple parts, but they don't tell you right off the bat that he's a advanced robot because you see in the firefight that they're utilizing these robots to to aid in the assault, which I really like because they're basically human like tanks, if you will. It's basically the way they're using them, which I think is just brilliant. And of course, I'm going to try. Not a firearms expert by any means, but I'm going to point out the weapons they had. The robots seemed like they were modified saws with a grenade launcher, which I was like, unbelievable. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. But it may exist, it may not exist. Like I said, I don't know. And getting ahead of myself here. What was I gonna say? Oh, it would be cool if soldiers actually use that, but I think it would just be too heavy for a human to lug around in a combat situation. But it may actually exist. I don't know. So anyway, before I get before I keep going, I want to say I feel like uh, the CGI for these robots was really good because I don't think it was actually CGI. I think it was like some other type of process where a person has to wear a green suit and then they overlay that person's movements in conjunction with uh, the generated image of the robot, something like that. Um, but I feel like the reality is human beings have come to a point where they've been able to create metal that can mimic human beings' sockets, but I just don't think we have the software. I just don't think the software we have is up to par to be able to control it effectively. Now, I think that's a reality. But anyway, a lot is being what should I say? A lot is being given to us in that first scene, which is good. So once he makes that decision, like I said, he gets put in close proximity to those Marines, given his Anthony Mackie character, and he finds out Anthony Mackie character is a more advanced robot than them. And then they go out into the field, and we're going beyond the wire, this, that, the third, all the cliche this, cliche that. But I have to say, it was probably one of the better shootouts that I've seen in years, and I'm not just making that up. Words are escaping me right now, but yeah, it's actually a decent shootout. So I think they call the robots Gumps, and the enemy Gumps are actually able to get down on all fours like some type of animal, and they have a shoulder mounted. I believe it's like a 50 caliber. It could be a different caliber, but it's looked to be a quite large round. But I feel like that weapon is like a heavy machine gun that's typically mounted on an aircraft, but it was shoulder mounted on a robot because, of course, the robot operates off hydraulics and can carry that amount of weight. But anyway, it was boom. It was firing that off. And another interesting thing, they kept these robots very similar to how like human squads would operate. There was multiple robots with like I guess the basic weapon that's considered for all of them, and then one robot had a more particular weapon that could be used as like um, a sharpshooter type of scenario, which I thought was pretty cool. Um, what else was I going to say? So yeah, at one point in the movie, um, one point in the movie, they try and push this, try and push their beliefs on you by saying, well, maybe that's too harsh. They try and they're trying to get individuals, uh, I guess, to understand the horrors of war without just showing you a lot of gore, which I think is commendable on their part, I guess. But I don't know how I feel about it. I shouldn't be doing these reviews so quick. I should let the movie marinate a little bit and then come back with the review. But I said, you know what, I might as well bang it out. Um, it just, I feel like they want to put individuals in a position to get out of what they're doing, and put you in someone else's shoes. And you get to see it from the perspective of the orphan or the amputee, or of course you just get to witness all the destruction and see that war shouldn't happen. But I feel like what they're getting at, well, not necessarily the movie, but I feel like most movies that involve uh, advanced robots always come to the same conclusion that the robot will somehow think that all human beings are evil. But I don't see that as being a truth. If this artificial intelligence is so smart and self learning and all that good jazz, it wouldn't just target all humans and say all humans are bad, because logically you know that all humans are capable of being anything, and they are capable of being evil or good, or anything in between. The thing is, I believe people that are in positions of power have been um, uh, altered by their desire for power and money. So greed has consumed them. And I feel like if those people were taken out of those positions, the world would be a better place. That's my opinion. Um, but like I said, I feel like most movies that involve some type of artificial intelligence always come to the same conclusion that it would somehow think that, okay, humans are the problem, so let's eliminate all of them. I just don't think there's something that's considered to be super intelligent would come to that conclusion, because if you understand that human beings are individuals, and uh, we you can't just lump us all together. I think maybe that's something deeper. This conversation can go way deeper than what I'm just scratching at right now. So, with that being said, oh yeah, before I forget, the funniest thing in the whole movie, they decided to take take a take a note from Terminator 2, the T-1000, when he's running with the knife hands, and Anthony Mackie's character. Every time he ran, he did that, which I thought was so funny. They overdid it just a little bit, but just seeing that, it put the cherry on top. It was super funny. So overall, I like the movie, but not the best movie. Great shootout, great action. There's some really good fight scenes in this movie. Um, but they are want to make you think politically, and from a human being standpoint, you want you to see that, which nothing wrong with that. But that's my opinion.